Either you have it or you don't. Either you have class or you don't. Either you are smart or you're not. Either you're talented or you're not. Either you're witty or you're boring. Either you're fake or you're a real person. Okay, none of those are Meghan's categories. She, in the positive one, she falls into the boring, fake, untalented category. And no amount of royal titles that she uses are going to be able to give her class, to give her creativity, to give her a work ethic. Because you see, Meghan Markle, when she was in Suits and hustling her way through, which means sleeping her way around, she wasn't doing it because of talent. She was doing it because, she wanted to be famous. She needed that fame. And I am so glad that after 5 years, so much damage, so many bodies laid on her wake towards her delisting again, we finally exposed this woman for what it is, or at least the world is coming down to it. But are we really? Are we really? Because she's demanding the CEO of Netflix be fired for being a racist. She's blaming racism on not liking her, in spite of the fact that there are so many wonderful cooking shows out there with ethnic women. Meghan Markle is not Black. She is biracial or mixed race at most. But she's blaming that. She's blaming the royal family for tying her hands and making her give up her D-list career. By the way, a career that has ended. I mean, they're filming Suits and they're not even calling her to come and be part of it. So why? I am so glad that Netflix is clapping back, because Netflix has just released why they had to cut most, if not almost all of the takes from that cooking show, which was filmed in March and April, right around the time she launched ARO, or America Riviera Orchard, because everything was supposed to neatly tie up with the American Riviera Orchard brand, where they were going to merchandise stuff using the cooking show, which actually makes sense. It was the whole idea to launch her America Riviera Orchard brand, which she failed to secure. So here Netflix explains why they had to do all the cuts, because Meghan is now complaining that the reason why the show failed or is trashed is, 1, because of racism, 2, it's the royal family's fault, and 3, they only used her worst takes. So let's explore why that happened. And this is the article which I believe she has commissioned to explain why the hate. Because why only her? You see, there's no other mixed race women in the world doing a cooking show. Okay. And they go as far as comparing it to Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez is also ethnic because she's Hispanic. Ahead of the new trailer dropping for her Netflix series with Love Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex made the somewhat necessary move. It was a necessary move. Does that mean that Netflix forced her? Of making her return to Instagram after leading the private life of a royal for so long. Can somebody please explain to me what private life this woman has been leading? The Colombia trip, the Nigeria trip, all the numerous pop walks that she's done, like the children's gala. I mean, calling Bagrid everywhere. She hasn't been living a personal, private royal life. She doesn't have the life of a royal. What life of a royal? She's not royal. She's a D-list mattress actress. Moments after she created her first personal post since she joined the royal family, Markle received swift backlash from detractors online. This is typical anytime Markle does or says anything that is shared online, and has been the pattern ever since she married into the royal family, and has therefore been subject to harsh criticism in the UK media for her every action. Let's not forget that it is Radar Online, Hello Magazine, New York Post, The Times. I mean, all the outlets, TMZ. I mean, they've been in favor of Rachel Meghan Markle, these magazines, and Touch. All of these US magazines are absolutely trashing this woman for the fraud that she is. Tone deaf. This is not the UK, but this is her take on it because she does not want to anger the US media. She wants to keep the US media on her side. So she trashes the UK media as being the ones responsible for all this negativity that she's receiving online. Never mind that she just sucks. And we're going to tell you why the show it's so terrible. Okay. Maybe had she been able to fulfill the promises she did to Instagram, that would have been great. But sorry, to Netflix, the show would have made sense. But because she failed to deliver the goods to Netflix, and Netflix wants to get rid of this woman, they did the show and they just cut the things that legally by law they have to cut. Okay. And then she goes, after the trailer for Markle's new series dropped on social media, this pattern kicked in again. Users on the platform X lobbed accusations that the trailer made the series look pretentious, contrived, and narcissistic. Conservative, basically Trump media outlets, were quick to focus on these snide comments. Well, TMZ is not a conservative. Radar Online is not a conservative at all. In Touch is not conservative. New York Post is not conservative. Rather than taking an unbiased look at the previous merits, I'd like to know which. Please leave in the comments what the merits are, because I am baffled by it. Most of the criticism could be summed up with the question of who does Markle think she is, telling people how to artfully curate their lives. But this criticism is so swift and harsh that it begs a separate question. What's going on beneath the surface? Online criticism, and here's the part. Online criticism for With Love Meghan feels familiar. Of course it does. And then they show the Netflix show of Harry and Meghan with her face explaining it all. The harsh criticisms the Suits actor has faced ever since her foray into the royal family, it's because the royal family is behind all this harsh backlash. This is written by Meghan Markle. This is just my thoughts and opinions. Has long been understood as a byproduct of racial discrimination by many Black women face simply by existing in spaces traditionally reserved for white people. I'm not going to bore you guys with how many outlets, how many cook shows. I can't show them to you because they're Netflix and they're going to copyright my ass. But Netflix, if you go into cooking shows, they have this British lady who's a baker that she's featured with Princess Catherine. She's amazing. And the show is just awesome. The show is just amazing. Let me see if I can get away with it. I'm going to show you. This is just one of the many shows. This is a British lady called Nadia. She's an amazing chef. She has two cooking shows with Netflix, which are absolutely beautiful. One is called Nadia Bakes, and the other one is Cooking with Nadia. But look at her. Look how beautiful she is. Look at her presentation. And I guess this is what Rachel Meghan Markle was going for. Look how beautiful everything is. But of course, she is a chef. She's in her kitchen, she's doing stuff. So the fact that she claims racism is a part of it because she's Black and she's getting the backlash, I beg to differ. With every new venture since the UK media began to heap their critiques on her, Markle has been subjected to the same bitter onslaught of criticism, even before her work is fully realized. It happened again with the launch of American Riviera Orchard, which was subject to immediate backlash online when she created an enigmatic Instagram page for the home of lifestyle brand. Count your chickens before they're hatched. I think that's how it says, right? There's a saying, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And that's what happened to Rachel Meghan Markle, who told Netflix that she lied to Netflix. She told Netflix she had secured the patent, the trademark for American Riviera Orchard. She even sent those ugly looking jam jars without any of the info necessary for any food product to be marketed in the United States, which is ingredients, weight, everything. Because what if you're allergic to something? You're open to a lawsuit, so all the ingredients have to be disclosed. So she lies to Netflix, tells Netflix that she has secured the patent and the trademark, and that's why Netflix agrees to go and hire 50 crew, 4 or 5 chefs, 2 vans, tents, everything. They paid for the mansions for her to film this stuff in this cooking show, only for this to happen. Meghan Markle dealt fresh blow over American Riviera Orchard as she asks for more time. This is on November 28, 2024. The cooking show had already wrapped because the cooking show started filming in March and April, the same time she launched that pretentious American Riviera Orchard Instagram account. But of course it was rejected, and it will never be approved because this is the 3rd or 4th time. And she has been told that she cannot trademark locations. She cannot patent locations. In American Riviera, it's a location. It's considered, there's so many businesses who have it. So what did she do? She rearranged it and put it as RO, American Riviera Orchard, because as I pointed out in many, many articles, she has failed once again. You can't use in your jams or your product any other than what you patent. So in this case, American Riviera Orchard is a long name to put on a label. So she should have put Arrow, but she hadn't asked to trademark Arrow. Maybe she should trademark Arrow and forget American Riviera Orchard, because that would be, I would do it that way. If you can't, I'm not going to patent American Riviera Orchard, but I am on a patent ARO. But then again, Arrow is the Spanish word, which is an arrow. It's like, a thing that you put on your head. So again, she's trying to patent words like she did with Archwell, and this is why she failed. Now, once the expenses had been made, once Netflix had committed, because they spent a lot, they spent a lot of money, almost $2 million filming this thing. And during the filming of all this pretentious mess is Meghan Markle advertising her jam, her products, even cookware, and even dishes as being part of American Riviera Orchard. And because that is basically sprinkled throughout the entire series, they had to cut and edit most of it, because she is willing to go and say she has accused CEO of Netflix, Greg Peters, I believe is his name. If it's not him, please correct me. But she has accused Greg Peters of being racist. She's even involved the board of directors of Netflix to get involved in this because she wants to fire the marketing team. She wants to re-edit the entire show, refilm the entire show, because she says it's not her fault that this stupid United States Patent Office denied her claim. It's not her fault. No, because then it would have made sense that she is doing a cooking show promoting everything she wants to sell. But because that's not the case, and their contract is expiring now this year, the gig is up. Netflix is not gonna spend again $2 million on a project that they already know people won't like because of the comments they've gotten, the amount of cancellations on subscriptions. So it has nothing to do with racism. But what is worse is that Meghan continues, and this is why she's disliked. Because make no mistake that this is a commissioned A commissioned article by Rachel Meghan Markle, if not written by her. Markle has an undeniable history in the lifestyle space prior to her ever being exposed to the upper crust tastes of the royal family. Like saying, listen, I was royal before then. What do they know? Dating and eventually marrying Prince Harry had a marked impact on Markle's career. Meghan is implying that it had a negative impact. This is what she was boasting about on Vanity Fair, in spite of the fact that she was told, do not use Harry's name while you're dating him. Sorry, I have to have my coffee. She was told, do not use Harry's name. Do not use it. She was going around restaurants in Toronto claiming that she was Prince Harry's girlfriend. She went on Vanity Fair. She was told not to mention in that Vanity Fair where it said crazy about Harry, not to mention Harry's name or that she was dating him at all. But she was desperate because she had been written out of Suits. Suits had come to an end. She had no prospects. She was in the UK looking for a man. Let's face it, she went looking for a man. And the fact that this woman has the nerve to say that the royal family, listen to this, guys, they had an impact on Markle's career as the family even began to intervene in her work as an actress. They never did. She was falsely telling the producers of Suits that she couldn't do this because she was fed up of being portrayed almost naked in the show, because that's all she was good for. But she's now firmly placing the blame on the royal family for intervening in her work as an actress. Her popular self-published lifestyle blog, The Take, ran for 3 years. The most she made in a year was 60,000 Canadian dollars on her third year, and she was basically promoting poop spray. Before it was shuttered as she pursued life as the royal family in the UK. The site was a curated window into Markle's Southern California lifestyle and her travel adventures abroad. But it wasn't just travel recipes and beauty tips on the site. As it also featured brief TikTok questionnaires answered by a variety of successful individuals throughout the years, including Emmy Rossum. Have you ever heard of her? I haven't. Serena Williams. So they answered a questionnaire. So it's not like proper interviews. Priyanka Chopra, who at the time wasn't anybody until she marries that Jonas guy, as well as other in-depth interview with Markle's projects. There is always significant substance behind the curated joy. So I thought she said that she was a humanitarian, that prior to meeting Harry, she was actually a full-on humanitarian, and that was what her take was about. The With Love Meghan trailer allegedly shows the series' strengths. Markle's new series shares a showrunner with Selena Gomez. By the way, Gomez, it is a Hispanic name. So you see, minorities are in white spaces, and Selena Gomez's show is absolutely fantastic. But that's because Selena is not pretentious. Selena is not pretending that she herself elevates ordinary things to extraordinary things, because Meghan is implying that Michelin star food chef who cook their meals are ordinary, but here she comes, and with a splash of mint, it becomes extraordinary. With Selena Gomez's reality TV venture, Selena Plus Chef, where the singer-actress invites celebrity chefs to teach her how to prepare some of their favorite dishes. The Max series has remarkable production value, considering it is filmed in Gomez's home. Meghan hired, she couldn't even bother to have people come to her home because she keeps it rented most of the time. And there is coziness led to the series, but this filmed at home aspect. Meghan is not. She's not at home. It is already clear from the trailer that Markle's series will have a similar production value and flow that is found in Gomez's successful series. Markle is reclaiming her professional space. I mean, In the preview trailer for the upcoming series, Markle claims to have always had interest in taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it. Well, she took a royal title. Guys, anybody can work their ass off. That's the great thing about the United States and there are other places. You work your ass off, you can become a multimillionaire, billionaire, famous, successful. But royal, you can either be born to it or marry into it. That is such a thing that even A-list, Reese Witherspoon fawning all over Princess Catherine because they all want to be part of the royal. They all want to meet royalty. All of them. So Meghan took the most extraordinary thing that can happen to 99.99% of people on earth who would give their left nuts or whatever to have a royal title by the British monarchy, the top British monarchy. And she has downgraded it to her delist them tig days. That's how terrible it is. Because again, she failed to do the basics. She failed to secure the trademark before she launched any product. I've done that. I secured my stuff before. That's 101. That shows how stupid it is. And on top of that, she lies to the producers and the CEO and the bigwigs of Netflix. And oh yeah, I've secured it. Go ahead, film it. Waste $1 million on me. I'm gonna have D-list celebrities because most of those people, they don't even know who it is, who they are. Do you know Delfina I don't even know the name or any of those other people. Mindy Kaling, sort of known, but not really, from The Office. She has to make new friends because she has ghosted everybody else. She has ghosted everybody else, guys. From her work on the TIG to this new venture, there is clear branding consistency. There's clear branding consistency. How, may I pray? How? She managed to successfully patent the TIG. She didn't manage to successfully patent American Riviera Orchard. Nobody wanted to give her a cooking show. Nobody. So how is that even consistent, guys? I am really going insane here. From her work on the TIG to this new venture, if viewers want to interpret this as pretentious, that is their prerogative. But the criticism Markle is already facing online seems colored by racial discrimination, since it frequently boils down to outrage, as the Duchess, using a royal title of a colonial institution, she has accused of being racist. She's using this is where the hypocrisy plays a big role. She's using the title of an institution she has branded racist. She went on the NAACP and won an award for fighting institutional racism. This is like winning an award for fighting the KKK. The Robert F. Kennedy, the same thing. They went and fought racism against the royal family, against the royal institution, the racist royal institution. Why would you want to hold on to a title that represents that institution? It is beyond me. And that's where the hypocrisy lies. That's where the hypocrisy lies, guys. Because people are just fed up with this. People are just fed up with the hypocrisy of it all. Okay? So it says, but the criticism Markle is already facing online seems colored by racial discrimination, since it frequently boils down to outrage at the Duchess having the audacity to assert her right to claim space in the lifestyle field dominated by white women like Martha Stewart, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kourtney Kardashian. Considering the lifestyle space is inherently pretentious, the attacks seem to be more personal than professional in nature. The online and media attacks on Markle's new venture typically center around projections regarding her and Prince Harry's failure to deliver on other ventures in the past, which often don't account for the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on these projects, nor the fraught nature of entertainment production in general. I gotta tell you something. Actually, it was during COVID, because we couldn't go anywhere, that these shows, people were stuck at home watching more stuff. So if there was a time to release any venture, it would have been during COVID time. She could have done it herself at home, with a couple of cameras herself, get it, cook. It would have been done. Many people, there were still cooking shows, people filming at home with the little cameras. She could have done it and she would have been successful, rather than blaming COVID. Of course, it's COVID, it's racism, it's the royal family. It's not the fact that she couldn't secure a patent. It's not the fact that she lies to people. And she is pretentious and is using a royal title that she has downgraded to a D-list level. She has taken something extraordinary and downgraded it, denigrated it to the worst of the worst, to her gutter places. Speculation about Markle and her husband's desire to extend their lucrative deal with Netflix often has critics bending over backwards to somehow paint this ambition in a negative light. They'll frequently link Markle's new venture with observations that critics did not respond well to Prince Harry's recent Polo documentary, or some other drama that doesn't have anything to do with her new series at all. And yet, from all appearances, the criticism of With Love, Meghan is unfounded. And this series will deliver a thoughtful and intentional return to the lifestyle space for Markle. I am going to debunk her ass right now. There's an assertion she made that the royal family interfered with her career, and that's because of them, that her career took a turn for the negative because of this. This is an article of the biggest. This is basically from the Oprah interview. Okay, she's basically now, Meghan Markle saying, forget the Harry and Meghan documentary, forget my interview with Oprah. They all fail me. They all show the worst of me. This is the 20 biggest bombshells Prince Harry and Meghan Markle dropped in their Oprah interview. Okay, so I'm not gonna read them all here. She says that Meghan Markle entered her royal family with Prince Harry and Evelyn and secretly married 3 days before the televised wedding. That was debunked. Meghan Markle didn't know how to curtsy to the Queen. You know what? I'm going to be a complete petty Betty, and I am going to debunk this one. I am going to be a petty Betty about this, because that one where she said that she didn't know how to curtsy to the Queen, she is lying. This video is 6 years ago. She started dating Harry officially, according to her, sometime in July 2016, while she was still engaged to Corey Vitiello. But she officially started dating him in July. In August, September, she went to the school in Pasadena. She flew from Toronto after she came back from Botswana. And she took etiquette courses on how to have tea and other royal etiquette with the Queen. And I'm going to play it and show it to you right away, guys, just because I am that much of a petty Betty, okay?
Meghan Markle becomes Prince Harry's bride, she came to this tea house in Pasadena, California to learn proper tea etiquette. Edmund Fry, owner of the Rose Tea Cottage, was tasked with teaching Meghan proper protocol. He says Meghan visited 9 months ago. Her friends made the reservations.
I had no idea that she was coming.
Turns out there are 25 rules to having tea. Gulp.
You never turn the cup over or the plate over to see where it's.
I can't play very much because then I'm going to get a copyright strike. But 9 months, this was 6 years ago. Meghan Markle has just gotten engaged now. She gotten engaged 6 years ago. She's just going to be 6 years. They just were 6 years married. This was filmed 6 years ago. And 9 months prior to her even getting engaged or anything or meeting the Queen, she went and took etiquette courses. So who's lying here? Don't worry. don't worry, we're gonna get to the part where she says that the royal family interfered in her career. Okay. Okay, and then I mean, there were concerns and I mean, I don't even want to get into about that one. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this woman, it is so disgusting to think that this woman was around Her Majesty the Queen. It is so disgusting. It is so appalling. It is so appalling about all of this. Okay. And this is where we're going to go about the royal family, where she claims that the royal family interfered in her career. And basically, that's why she had to stop working. This is Harry's words, and this was in the Oprah document sit down that they did. And Harry also repeated it in Spare. Says the royal family wanted Markle to keep acting after marrying Harry. Harry revealed to Winfrey that the royal family suggested Markle continue her acting career. There wasn't enough money to pay for her. That was right at the beginning when she wasn't going to get security, when members of my family were suggesting that she carries on acting because there was not enough money to pay for her and all this sort of stuff, said Harry. And then he blames that on there were some obvious signs even before we started. And then, of course, racism was a large part of why the couple left the UK, which again, it is Meghan Markle's default to position. This is why she's now accusing the Netflix CEO of being racist. This is why she's putting these articles that is largely to racism. She's telling you now, it's not my fault what Oprah did. She's blaming Oprah. It's not my fault that Oprah portrayed it in that stupid interview. It's not our fault Harry and Meghan did that badly, or all the other interviews. It is not my fault that I have gone on stage and consistently said that because social network or social platforms are toxic, and none of them. This was just that last year in Texas in different shows. Harry on New York, where he spends most of the time. Meghan Markle sitting right next to a grieving parent, saying that she's not on social media while lying through people's faces. And now they're trying to turn it, oh, it's because you're racist. No, it's because she's a liar. It's because she is being pretentious, because she's not going by her name. If she's going back to her roots, she should be known as Meghan Markle. That is her name. Stop using your husband's title. Go back to Rachel Meghan Markle. But the reason why she doesn't do it is because she knows. She knows she doesn't get past the door. And that door has officially been shut. And Netflix is clear that the reason why they had to cut out most of the takes when they filmed the show in March and April is because she lied to them about having secured the patent to American Riviera Orchard. And the entire show is peppered. She talks about American Riviera Orchard throughout the entire show. So they're not about to waste $2 million more on re-recording an entire show, because they can't still use American Riviera Orchard. And Meghan Markle is pushing for the show to be instead of being showcased on January, to be showcased mid 2015, because she believes she will have secured the trademark for American Riviera Orchard, and they will be able to use the American Riviera Orchard all along. But the thing is that Netflix doesn't want to do it anymore. They're done with her. And their contract is up in March. Their renegotiation of their contract with Netflix is up in March 2025. So what do you think, beautiful people, is going to happen? Isn't it incredible? It's incredible, her downfall, how she went from being, look, she's talking to the Queen of England on the most famous place in the world, where she is to the right of Queen Elizabeth II, the most iconic woman in the world, watching living through a historic moment. She is not even Prince William nor Catherine. It's that skank who's there. It's that skank who's there. And she goes from that to filming a cooking show in a rented mansion in Montecito. Can somebody please explain how this woman can claim that she elevates ordinary things to extraordinary things by copying everything everybody does? Please leave me your comments, beautiful people.